Welcome back, everyone. This week's Picture of the Week is being brought to you by Flowers Deer Processing. Well, scratch that. It's deer season's over. Flowers Garden Center. And let me tell you something. They've been busy out there planting those little seeds to make those beautiful flowers grow. Get ready for that. They will start that probably in April, the latter part of March or first part of April, but they will have that garden center open for you right there. Our first picture here, this is Jackson Timpkin. He caught this 3.25 pound, 3 1/4 pound smallmouth on Percy Priest Lake, and he did give me the GPS coordinates, so. And so good job there, Mr. Jackson. And our next picture here, this is Cameron McGuire. And Cameron McGuire is the grandson of Barry Strickland. And Barry is a real good friend of mine. Used to have a radio show that talked about hunting all the time and fishing all the time. And he is a great friend of David McMurray. And this is his grandson, Cameron McGuire, with his first deer. Next picture here, this is at the ABAC State Fishing Tournament at Lake Blasingame. And you can tell this is Tristan Crowder. And Wes Meadows was the tournament director, but Tristan Crowder, one of our local guys, won the whole thing. He went to right here. He was right here in Shelbyville area, Lawrenceburg High School, and won this whole thing. So good job, Tristan, on that one. Our next picture here, this is Peyton Smith with a 7-point deer that he got during the youth hunt in Robertson County. Good job. And he said, look at that tine. That tine on the right's got a little messed up point to it, but you get that. You get that, Peyton, but fine job, brother. Good way to end the season. The next picture, this is my better half. This is Miss Joy with the doe she took on the last day of hunting for adults. Well, I tried to squeak her in on the kid thing and it just wouldn't work. But she did get one on the last day. Great job there. And then our last picture here, this is a young man that talks to me all the time. I go to church with him out there at Joy Church in Mount Juliet. This is Isaiah Dotson with his very first deer ever. And I'm telling you, he was so proud, and we were so proud to put that picture on here. Hey, if you got pictures, send them to us. Southern Woods and Waters, 474 James Robinson Parkway, Nashville, Tennessee, 37219, or simply email them to me at hugh@southernwoodsandwaters.com. We'll get them on here really fast. A lot of pictures coming in. I want to thank everybody for all those pictures. Just keep them coming. We're going to get them on here really fast. A lot of kids, and I love seeing the kids part. And that's got to be a proud daddy that brings those kids in there. Now, your son that's going to come on here, the middle one. Right. He's the one that helped start the high school fishing team at White House, right? Yep. And what did he just do not too long ago?
Well, last year was a first year that they've had a fishing team at White House High School, and Logan basically went to one of the coaches and said, "Hey, can you help us start a fishing team?" And they were able to organize and get one together, and I think they got a few sponsors. And the first tournament they had was a TBF. I think it was in March on a Kentucky Lake, and.
That's home territory.
Oh man, you know how that lake absolutely spoils you.
Oh yeah,
it's
it will
insane
hurt you.
The amount of big fish that's on that lake.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, during practice the day before the tournament, we were out practicing. I caught over a 10-pounder. I want to keep it mounted.
Yeah.
And he said, you're gonna put that thing back because I'm gonna catch him tomorrow. But anyways, yeah, he was, I'm sure, he felt grateful to be able to pull out a win on that tournament.
And he did.
And his first one.
That was awesome.
And,
that was awesome.
I think they ended up with 18 pounds, him and his partner Morgan Dyer.
That is
so
awesome.
Trina and I were extremely proud of her. She wasn't able to make it, and I can remember making a phone call to her, and she was like, "No, he did." I said, "Yes, he did." She goes, "Oh my God!"
She started screaming.
Yeah. So, and they got some scholarship money. I think him and his partner both got $1,000 apiece.
That is
great.
Yeah,
we're just very proud of all three of our boys.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why didn't they have it when we were going to school? What was the deal? I mean, there's fair, and then there's there's unfair. We got the unfair part, y'all. I mean,
right.
Why? Yeah. All we had was farm power machinery or agriculture, whichever one you want to choose.
Exactly, that's right.
No, I want fishing. You know, I lived right on Sam River, and they wouldn't let us fish. So
I remember the old Zebco reels. You know, whenever they wouldn't cast good, all I had to do is take them and kind of dip them down in the water, pick it up, and you know, throw it back out there. But yeah, you know, training. She was an athlete as well. I enjoyed football and stuff, but if they'd had a fishing team, you know, it'd been hard.
I had to tell my football coach.
You know, exactly. So, but fishing is definitely a passion that the whole family has. We enjoy it. So that's kind of what we do.
That's exactly what you do. Now you have Petit Heating and Airing, heating and cooling.
Right.
So you are a air conditioning contractor located in White House. So that I see it because it's on everybody's shirt except Mama's. What
Mama's, yeah, Mama's not special. Dad ordered Mom's shirt and
and forgot to put the print on there. Okay, well, moving right along. But the boys and everything. So that's great that you can use your business to help, you know, keep them in it. And I know how expensive it is for one person to fish. I even know how expensive it is for 2 people to fish. How expensive it is for 5.
Well, you know, it's there's a joke out there, and I've told several people this, that my biggest fear in life is when I die, is that Trina would sell my fishing equipment for what I told her I paid for it. But now that she's been fishing for the last 10 years, she knows how much this stuff costs, and so do the boys. But, you know, that's another thing that we're very grateful for. Austin and Logan, Brett, soon to be, but, you know, they both have jobs. And they work, and, you know, for the most part, they buy their own fishing tackle, lures and string, and they know how much it costs, and they take care of it. So, but for many years, Trina and I, you know, we still dish out quite a bit.
Oh, I mean, we did, but now they're...
But it's what I call a funding a passion, you know, because that's something you get to do as a family and everybody's a part of. And that's, now, do y'all take trips out to go fish lakes that are, you know, far away? Do y'all ever do that?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, here, about a month or so ago, Austin and I made a trip down to Chickamauga.
Oh, I love Chickamauga.
And went down there and done a little bit of fishing, and been on Gunnersville a few times this year, Kentucky Lake. But for the most part, our tournaments are done on Old Hickory Lake, just for the simple fact is, you know, they play ball and stuff as well, so trying to fit it in the schedule when we don't have something going on Saturday, we'll sneak out there. So.
That's right. So, well, what did you think about Chickamauga?
You know, we of course, you know, the Alabama rig isn't hot right now. Whenever we were out there a month and a half ago, that bite wasn't there yet. So it was a little tough on us, but we still managed to catch some, you know, pretty nice fish. There were no 10 and 12 pounders, but we're hoping to make it back in, you know, 3 or 4 weeks.
Let me know. I got a friend
exactly.
down there.
We'll all go down there together.
Yeah, he'll put us on some big ones.
That would be awesome.
Let's talk about. You just recently said you took 3rd place at the tournament on Priest, and I asked you. I said, "What do you think? What's the deal? What are we catching them on?" And you brought. Where's it? Did you bring that A-rig with you?
Yeah. Well,
the boys have got it. Okay.
They got it.
All right. The boys got it.
The shad wraps and stuff there.
We'll show it here in a minute.
Yeah.
A-rig is a bait that sort of mimics a small ball of shad, school of shad. And to let everybody know, there's usually 5 stems that comes off of it, 2 of which cannot have any hooks on them. So 3, you can have 3 hooks. 2 of which are just what we call dummies, just little spinners or flashers or whatever you want to call them. Really hit the scene a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Big time.
Yes.
Now it's a staple. If you're not fishing the Alabama rig, you're going to get beat.
That's right. You're not going to compete.
You're not even in the running. What do you think about it?
You know,
because there's pros and cons.
Absolutely.
But there's pros and cons on throwing a frog or a rat too. So I'm just throwing it out there. But the A-rig, you know, a lot of people going, well, did not the BASS ban it?
Right.
The BASS is banned.
Anything leading up to the elites.
Right.
Any of those tournaments don't qualify to be able to throw the Alabama rig.
Right. So what do you think?
Me personally, you know, I kind of told you my story in the background, and for Trina and I, you know, tournaments, catching fish is just a bonus. You know, we just love being around the fishing community. You know, I love all the guys we fished against, and in the mornings getting together and hanging out. So we just obey by the rules. If they say, hey, Alabama rigs are okay to throw, then of course, you know, if you can't beat them, you got to join them. And if you're not throwing that rig right there, whenever the water gets down in the 40s, it's just, you're just not going to compete. That's just the way it is. So as long as it's legalized, we're going to chunk the fire out of it. That's just all there is to it.
That's the way to do it. Now you've got 3 on this rig that have hooks in them, and you can see the hooks in these 3. Now 2 of which are what I call dummies. They're just flashers. You just got a willow leaf blade on the end of it, and it's just making a flash.
That's all it's doing.
And that's all it's doing. So they'll come up. What's the most you ever caught on one of these?
Well, we've been out to Kentucky Lake 2 years ago. We all went out there, and we're chunking Alabama rigs. And I kid you not, for 3 or 4 hours, we were catching them every cast. And there was one time she had caught 3 at one time, but the doubles were just like, it was going to be like that all day long.
Like that all the time.
But that's how, you know, Kentucky Lake is. Now, our home lake, Old Hickory, that we fish a lot of, there's only been a couple times I've caught doubles, but for the most part, when you get a hit on that, it's going to be 4 pounds or better on Old Hickory.
He's taking it.
And, you know, not exaggerating a bit, I can remember several times in tournaments last year that we're throwing back 12 to 15, 3.5 to 4.5 pound fish just because they're not doing any good.
They're not helping the situation.
Exactly. This is Old Hickory. So it was pretty amazing. And we got picked, well, I got picked on quite a bit. You can get on social media, on Facebook. I've got some friends says, hey, when the Alabama rig goes away, Pettit's done.
He's done.
So, but hey, it's a lot of fun to throw.
Well, now here's another one. Now this is a Percy Priest, I think, a Percy Priest staple.
No hidden secret.
If you don't have this one and you don't have it tied on right now, you're not competing either.
That's right.
And that is, I don't know if we can get a good shot of this. Austin, can we get a good shot of whatever of this? This is the number 5 Shad Rap.
That's right. Big fish love it.
They do love it. What do you think's their trick? I mean, and it's just Priest. It's not necessarily Old Hickory. I mean,
that's right.
Priest goes crazy over this thing.
And you know, it's no hidden secret, but I remember last Friday we were fishing a tournament, water temperatures hovering between 49 52 degrees. Muddy as all get out. And that tournament, for the most part, I believe the top teams that finished in the top 5 caught fish in 12 inches of water or less. Isn't it amazing how shallow those fish get on the lake when the sun beats on the bank?
Now we're talking wintertime.
Yes.
January. And you caught them in 12 inches of water?
At least, yeah. It was very shallow water.
Is it just because we haven't had any cold weather yet to drive them down? Or
well, you know,
the shad up there, they got to be eating the shad.
Yeah. Just our experience being on that lake during the winter time is the water can be extremely cold, but when the sun is beaming down on those rocks, for some reason, they like to get up there and kind of sunbathe. That's all.
It warms them up.
That's right.
It's like having a little oil radiant heater. Is what it is. What it is. Old Hickory's totally different.
Right.
Now, can you go catch them in 12 inches of water on Old Hickory?
I'm sure there's always a shallow bite somewhere on that lake.
There's always a shallow bite somewhere.
But we found, you know, our confidence when the water gets real cold, the bait fish move out and they ball up. We just like to go out and find the bait fish and throw the Alabama rig somewhere around it. And if you don't get hit by a largemouth, you go catch a 20 to 50 pound striper out there. So.
And it's hanging on time.
Yeah, it's fun during
practice. What about one of those 15-pound drums? I've had them hit too.
My favorite.
You think you got a big one.
We usually leave those for our pastor, Scott Cooper and Jimmy Cantrell.
They're calling.
They'll be calling in here in just a little while. I think Scott had a question he wanted to ask Trina, so we'll see.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
I'll tell you what, we got to take another quick break. Visit some more of our fine sponsors. We're going to have to say goodbye to Miss Trina and goodbye to Austin, the firstborn. And we got 2 more that's going to join Daddy over here in just a minute. So get ready for more Southern Woods and Waters.